Therefore, Nigerians now deserve to be heard. We all need a voice.
Nigeria of nowadays, we are suffering. Even common Gari, we can't buy Gari again. Gari has come as a cocaine. Food we can't buy, rice we can't buy. We can't feed our.
Join Omobola Sandra every Thursday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM to lend your voice and speak to the real issues affecting the Nigerian state. Open Forum. Your time to talk is now. Attention everyone, this is an important message about cholera.
Cholera is a serious disease, but we can stop it together.
Remember to always drink clean, safe water. Boil or treat your water before drinking.
Wash your hands with soap and clean water, especially before eating and after using the toilet.
Cook your food thoroughly and eat it while it is hot.
Keep your surroundings clean and dispose of waste properly.
If you or anyone you know shows symptoms like severe diarrhea or vomiting, seek medical help immediately.
Together, we can beat cholera and keep our community healthy.
This message is brought to you by Mainland 98.3 FM, Lagos. Stay safe, stay healthy.
It's another beautiful day, a wonderful one it is. If you ask me, the 29th day in the month of August. Some people would say it is the last Thursday. Of course, it is the last Thursday in the month of August, so it means we're not going to be seeing this August or this Thursday again until maybe, I don't know how it's going to happen, but definitely it has been a wonderful one. For some persons, it has been a roller coaster, but for some other persons, yes, everything has just been so. But whatever it is, we are grateful for the fact that, yes, we are still pretty much alive to witness this beautiful day. So welcome to Mainland FM 98.3. And of course, this is the voice of Victor Achibong. And you know how we get to do it every Thursday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. where we talk. And the talking is all about you, our esteemed listeners. Yes, of course, we have some ideas or some topics that we want to talk about. But don't forget, you also need to be a part of the conversation. So I want to welcome you once again to Open Forum on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Last week we didn't hear the voice of Sandra, but I can tell you with all confidence with me that Sandra is in the studio. No, you can't do that.
Let's be careful the way we put confidence on people. Because I placed confidence on Nɪɪľᴇ that Port Harcourt refinery will be open in Port Harcourt in August. Today is 29th of August. Tomorrow is the last working day in August.
They said it's in September now. They pushed it to September.
Just
like Dangote.
I'm heartbroken.
I cannot have you in the studio and you're not saying anything, Sandra. That's just the truth about it. You definitely must say something. So whether you play mute or not, I'll drag you out.
Let's just be careful with the way we have confidence in people.
But anyways, you've heard the voice of Oᴘᴇᴜ. Odugbemi is also with us, and there is something about Otumba this afternoon. It's looking totally different.
How?
It's
I'm
looking.
a young boy.
No, we are not disputing the fact that you're not a young boy.
I'm in my teens.
We are not disputing the fact that you are not in your teens.
My colleague is
your appearance is what I'm talking about. So Otumba,
this is how we Gen Z. This is how we do.
All right, thank you very much for that. All right, people. I just said okay, we should hear their voices so that you will be in the know that we have a full house this afternoon where we're going to be talking. Yes, as you do know, when it comes to Open Forum, we look at some of the stories and also other stories that we're not able to touch during the week or in the course of the week. We're going to be talking about NECO WAEC exams, the ban of 18 years old, and so many persons have been having a lot of feelings or reactions as regards that policy. And Atiku Abubakar, the former presidential candidate of the the People's Democratic Party (PDP), is still talking tough. He calls it absurd, and of course, he has blasted the federal government of Nigeria. At some point, we're going to be listening to Dr. Bukola Dosumu, who happens to be the former president of Private Owners Association, of Private Schools Owners Association, yes, talking about proprietors. She's there. We're going to be listening to her in the course of that conversation. Now, federal government also is defending the invalidation of over 22,700 certificates from Togo, Benin Republic. We are also going to talk about that one too. And of course, there is something we need to hear from the professor. So we'll be taking a listen to what the professor himself talked about. That's talking about the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman. We need to listen to him as well. Now, another story we're going to be looking at in the course of this conversation, as you all know, the NBA conference, yes, has been a very, very serious one where, big wigs in Nigeria, the policy makers and policy shakers in this our country have been adding their voice to the conversation when it comes to nation building, the state of the nation. Oᴘᴇᴜ, the DG of the World Trade Organization, has also been talking, and this time around she's sending a message directly to politicians, to governments, to the leaders, and she said this has to stop. This has to stop, as she's asking politicians to stop weaponizing insecurity. We have the conversation around Niger State seeking military intervention as regards bandits attack that has been rampaging in that particular part of the country. And of course, we're also going to dive into conversations around how Tinubu can, try to offset this asset seizure that the Chinese company Zhongchen has been taking seriously ever since they couldn't get their money. So a whole lot that we're going to be talking about here this afternoon. And of course, like I did say, you are also going to be a part of the conversation. We don't want you to leave, so stay with us. Remember, it is going to be a round conversation for the next 2 hours. It's just 8 minutes past 1. I'll go on a very quick break. When we return, then we'll begin to dive into all of the conversation and see how it goes from there. This is Open Forum on Mainland 98.3 FM. Stay with us, people.
Hey, Papa Solo, abeg come. Wetin be this cholera wey dey talk?
Na so me sef hear am o.
I hear say Lagos state government talk say no be only vomit o. Even if you dey go toilet wey dey call diarrhea, that one sef na another symptom o. So aside from vomiting, if you dey go toilet and if you get fever, your body dey hot, na wetin Lagos state government talk o say be the symptoms o.
Make me sef just go ask my children whether dem sef dey get headache or whether dem get body temperature. Make me sef carry dem go hospital. Abeg o, no use cholera play o.
See make sure say the water wey you drink e dey clean. Your environment, you clean am well.
Abeg, try to wash your hand anytime when you use your toilet, and before you chop, clean your hand well o. This message now from Mainland 98.3 FM. Cholera disease, e real o.
All right, you're welcome back. It's Open Forum right here on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Victor Achibong, and also I have Mobala Sandra with me in the studio. Yes, you also heard the voice of Oᴘᴇ Fᴏʀᴜᴜ, who is always our analyst in the house right here with us. Sandra, good to have you in the show. We missed your presence last week, but of course, it's good to know that you are here, and that is the most beautiful part of it. I wanted to bring Otumba quickly into the conversation, but then let me do that because I believe it's important we have that conversation. Otumba, you are welcome once again, and like I said, I like the way you're looking. It's totally different from the one I'm used to.
Because we are colleagues now.
Okay, all right. That's fine. That is fine. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll leave it like that.
So you are doubting me?
Not that I'm doubting you, but
I'm in Gen Z now.
You look totally different, and it suits you sincerely.
Now I'm looking my age.
You're looking your age now.
Yes, now.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
Mobala is not allowed to talk.
All right.
I shall not judge me.
I will look into that as well.
I'm not judging anybody, but I'll set up a committee to look into your outfit.
Okay, before we go into the full conversation, Otumba, I wanted us to look at this story. The Oᴘᴇ, I hope I pronounce it very well. Thank you very much. The Lagos State government is thinking of how they will reopen that market to discount markets, discount prices for people. I wonder what happened in the first place. Why did they even have to close it? Even after they opened it, or when they opened it, they had to close it. Why would they close it and not thinking of reopening it again? This is still like the same that we always say, that when there are issues,
to close and come back again, because people in the government, they lack qualitative ideas. In as much as we continue to use government channel, there's no way things can be successful. Who have the money? I mean, among the public is the people in the government that have so much money. If you open the market, who will even have the money to go and populate the market? Is it not the people that have money? Is it not the people in government will come in, a councillor will come in? Everybody out there. How will the common man on the street? It is when who pick among the common men that can have 10,000 to go to the place. You are saying you are cutting 50%. You understand? And who can have heard of thinking, but there are no deep thought in it? Are we saying we cannot grow food? Are we saying we don't have a better strategy through which we can alleviate it? Must it be by government alone? The Dangote distributed 1 million bag of rice, 10 kg around Nigeria, 1 million. It didn't go through government machinery.
Okay.
How are we sure that everybody who has the money? Why must Dangote distributed free of charge 10 kg?
All right, Otumba. All right. Let's just appreciate that. Yes, the Lagos State government is thinking of how to alleviate this food insecurity that we are currently experiencing in the country, and hopefully
that is just palliative, and palliative is not supposed to cure the issue.
Well,
it's just a mere and that palliative, how many of the common men on the street have the money to go and
I
buy?
think if it comes to palliative issue, Nigerians are used to it as it were right now.
Does it continue like that?
Okay, but let's go into the main discourse now. It's 14 minutes past 1 p.m. Don't forget also we are streaming live on Facebook. Yes, you can also join us there on Facebook, and you can leave your comments. All right. We go to the first conversation that we have here, where NECO WAEC exams ban for under 18s. And according to Atiku Abubakar, he has said this is absurd and is blasting the federal government of Nigeria. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has berated the Federal Ministry of Education over its policy that pegged age limits for entry to tertiary institutions, describing it as absurd. Now, the Minister of Education, let's not forget, Professor Tahir Mamran, who was a guest on a television program, actually had to spell it out that this is exactly the policy that the federal government of Nigeria thinks is okay to solve issues of entry into schools and also writing WAEC exams. According to Maman, he said the federal government has directed WAEC and NECO to enforce the 18-year age requirement for candidates seeking to take their exams. Now, this is not new to a lot of persons. That is one of the reasons Atiku Abubakar had to go and follow the story, and he also gave his own, remarks. Now, let's take a listen to what Dr. Bukola Dosunmu, former President, Association of Private School Owners Proprietors, said. She also had to react to this because, like we do know, different reactions have been coming from different angles as regards this particular policy for kids not up to the age of 18 not being able to write WAEC, and if you are 18 or you are not 18, you can gain admission into tertiary institutions. We'll be right back, people. Just take a listen quickly, and then we'll take it up from there.
First, we need to be very sincere with ourselves. What we have here is a national policy, a policy on entry age for schools at different levels and requirements for it to be followed. Now, we need to be true to ourselves in Nigeria, and that's where this issue comes in, because if we mirror this policy and the issues we're generating around with the pronouncement in the light of the global practices, then we know that we're not being true and sincere to ourselves. So it's the policy for the country of the age that children need to come in. It's a policy that is going to help us to handle the horrid child syndrome. It's a policy that's going to be a panacea for a lot of issues if we have time to discuss it. We have problems with class keeping. We have the problem of examination malpractice. You are aware of the miracle and special centers. If you do an undercover report and go to those centers, you will see the age of those children. You will see there are children that have skipped SS3 classes from SS1 or SS2 that are going there. It's going to also strengthen the poor examination standards we have in some of our public schools. I'm sorry to say, but we know that we'll rather opt for the national examinations for some than take the state's ERC examination. It's also going to help and relieve the burden of rote learning on teachers, because most of the children in our classrooms are underaged. And some of the children, honestly, but you will be shocked at what you will see in our schools. We have schools that close, that graduate children from primary 4. We have schools that take children in at 3.5, 4.5 years into primary 1 classes. We have schools that skip from GS2. They make some children write some public exam. All these things are clear to the regulators.
Isn't that a failure?
I'm very glad about what you said about the failure of the regulatory system, because these standards were what used to obtain in the past. Do you remember those times of HSC, lower SIC, upper SIC, A levels? Let's trace our steps back, and you will know that this comes a long way. But failure of the regulatory system, and then a lot of issues from the private education sector, which you can't really blame if there are no rules.
All right, welcome back. Yes, that was the voice of Dr. Bukola Dosunmu, former president, Association of Private School Proprietors. Otumba, you heard virtually everything she said. Totally different from the picture and the angle Atiku Abubakar is coming from.
That is true. If you watch carefully what Atiku Abubakar comments, it is oppositional. To the best of my knowledge, the oppositional statement he made, there's some substance in it, but is rather too aggressive and also too vindictive in passing judgment. Let's look at it. There's nothing new this government has done or will do. Most of what they're doing is dated back 2013, when you have 6334. It's nothing new. Come to think of it, the solution they are using, the solution they are ascribing to why they did it, they are no-brainer problem, no-brainer solution. Because it's like the system itself. A house that is divided against itself, can it stand? Government has been divided. Government, as far as I know, has always been divided against itself. There's no succession program. You move from one administration to the other, there's discontinuity. Because we have a lot of people who are powerful than the policy we are talking about. The problem we have in Nigeria is a question of policy manipulation. Most of the policy implementation, there are some thinking process, but they are not deep thought process. The issue of age, let's now look at it carefully. There is aging effect, and also, which is quite good, there's this education we are talking about. Maturity. Maturity has to do with a lot of things. But let's look at maturity and age. Is it everybody that has age that is mature? The answer is no. Because we have diverse gifts. Even as at 2013 that we had C334, there are provision for gifted children. Because some of our people, they are children too. Those people who are crying wolf now, their children are about, they are underage. but they prefer to send them abroad.
But according to the minister, their concern is, how will these kids who have not come of age be able to withstand the pressures that some of these tertiary institutions will kind of present before them? Not academically now, but you look at social pressure and all kinds of pressures that they could get. That's their concern. They need people that they feel as people who have come of age, or students who have come of age, that they'll be able to withstand such pressure. So coming from that angle that the Ministry of Education is speaking from, don't you think that it's a good way to go? I mean, if even Dr. Bukola, given the same view that, with all of the examination malpractice we find these days, and some miracle centers, quote and unquote, that some persons organize out there to do examinations for kids who have not even mentally, academically, psychologically strong enough to withstand some of this pressure. So looking at all of these from the Ministry of Education, trying to help the situation, Dr. Bukola also saying that it's a good thing coming from the Ministry of Education to pass this policy. Is it a good way?
It is born out of thinking but no deep thought. Who gave them license to operate? Let's ask the same doctor. Who gave those people license to operate? Do people just operate without them? It is because there is no succession plan, there is no vision. Everybody comes in and they want to create a model. Whatever Professor Taid is doing is nothing new. The question we ask ourselves is this: are they not It's because they have no provision. It's because most of the people they put in vice chancellor are very political. Some of them cannot think out of the box. Most of people in government, they don't think out of the box. They go like somebody that is automated. They go like AI issues. Nobody say, look, there's no, why are they successful? Why those people that are talking, even the Professor Taid and the doctor that is saying their children are abroad, how old is their children? Ask them. Look, the problem is there's no deep thought in the provision. Let's ask ourselves one question. The first fault that I have in it is this: why must you say they must be 18? They shouldn't go WAEC. That is a no-brainer. Somebody can be intelligent. Look, if you check all the ages, when people are talking, they should talk. We talk with fact. Around the world, if I can give you the age of people, they go. In United States is 18, Canada 18, UK 18, Australia 17, Germany 19, France 18, China 18, India 17. Don't let me continue. So what we're doing is in line with the global practice. But the question is this: in our global practice, we don't think out of the box. Children are blessed differently. There's some that are well intelligent. In Mafidon, they are from Nigeria. They went to UK. The young lady graduated at 15 masters. Oh yeah, if it's Nigeria, we'll let it go. We have a lot of people that had PhD in Nigeria. What we're saying is this: is our system of education enable enough? It's not enable enough. That is it. Quite a lot of people who are there, they are talking about rhetorics, is just galloping there. How often have we restructured our curriculum? All right, Otumba, let's bring in our listeners into the conversation, because this conversation is still pretty much in the front burner. Virtually everywhere you turn to, you have that conversation, the school age, or rather the age to be able to write WAEC and even gain admission into the university. The numbers to call is 09136 0000410. 09136 0000410, yes, 410. That's the number to call in. If it's on text message and WhatsApp, you do that to 09136 0000430. Remember to keep it within the 2 minutes mark, so that we'll be able to have as many as possible join the conversation this afternoon. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hey, good afternoon, Victor.
Yes, thank you very much.
I greet you.
I greet you too, my brother.
This is Ufoma from my brother Sheikh.
All right, Ufoma, thank you.
Yes, sometimes I always like the way Otuba presents analysis, and I want to go back to the first question you asked me about the palliative, about the Oᴘᴇᴜ, what are they calling it?
Okay, we're just having a banter around that one, but no troubles. Go ahead.
Let me just grab. And he was trying to enlighten us how Dangote was able to give people palliative. So only one single man, your own governor, your own federal government, our own federal government. Okay? Let's now bring it back to Lagos, Victor. Even though the food, the other time they say that there's some place that people should go and be buying on the cheaper price. To be sincerely, those who went, they even regret of going there. It is better to buy in a neighborhood. So As your guest said, that we lack idea. For now, Victor, most of the people that are in the power, they did not have a direction. They just want to be there for taking there. As a single, at the end of these 4 years, maybe we are spending over a year now. We are not yet see the light. So the remaining 2.5 cents, what are we going to see? For now, if a government cannot give people a single palliative during the era of COVID, do you know them amongst the Nigeria cost? As is space, what do we receive? We did not receive anything. The Buhari told us, if you have more than 5,000 in your account, you are not going. Is it the 5,000 we used to use? So, to be sincerely for now, Victor, we did not have people in power. Those who are there, let them enjoy themselves. But a time will come, we will have the people who will spend their own money. They are not going to be going there for their own money. They will spend their own money to the benefits of this country.
Thank you very much, Ufoma. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ufoma. Appreciate. All right, 091-3600-410. That's the number to call to be a part of the conversation. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, thank you very much. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Ajibola, calling from Ikola.
Ajibola from Ikola. All right, your take, Ajibola.
I know the last caller, what the last caller said. When we like to deceive ourselves, we just move out the same spot. When you consider to ride the bicycle on the same spot, you maybe put a full stand and you're now riding. You just keep deceiving yourself. How long a palliative economy will not even work, will not go anywhere. And I don't know how they resolve to this thing. When we are not an luxury in our own country, they're not in a refugee camp. Now think of, okay, we'll be sharing rights. You say security, we share rights. We say we want job, we share rights. We say we are complaining of this, they share rights. We are complaining of where, we share rights. For how long we want to continue deceiving ourselves? And they continue to give us all unnecessary excuse, bring up some propaganda that will make us forget. Now we are forget that for the past 1 month now we have been buying fuel for around 900 naira. Queues in every station. Nobody that one is dying down because they've given us things that we will discuss on. People will not even care about that one again because it has become part and parcel of us. That's our problem. We always take things as part and parcel and let it slide. Let them go and try half of what they are doing in some other countries. They will have heard something. And that is what we are saying. But everybody keep on using themselves. They say, don't worry. Abba will still do it. Abba what has Male now?
All right, thank you very much, Jibola. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for that contribution. All right, still on 091-3600-410. Don't forget, we are also streaming live on Facebook. You can, drop your comments there as usual. If you're not able to pick your call, we'll definitely read your contribution on Facebook. Good afternoon.
Sorry.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon. You are live on mainland.
Yes, this is AB speaking.
Pardon? Your name, please?
AB.
AB. And where is AB calling from?
Yes.
All right, AB. Go ahead.
Yeah. I like this discussion that you guys are doing. That's the education policy. Yesterday, actually, I wanted to talk about it, but I did not have time. See, I want you guys to continue to talk about it until they change their mind. It is not good that you see 18 years, but somebody is 18 years before you can write an exam. It's absurd. In fact, it's primitive, archaic. In fact, I don't know the adjective to use. So the media should continue to talk about it. Like, something happened some while ago in Taraba when some policemen were killed. This guy, Babajide, he said they will continue to talk about that issue until the police do something and get that guy what doing. And it happened, they actually got it. So please, you people should continue to talk about it. It cannot stand.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, AB. Appreciate from Surulere. I'm pretty sure we will continue to talk about it, and also We believe that you also play your part by continuing to talk about it as well, so that together we can join our voices together and send the messages across as much as possible. Okay, we'll go for our very first break, and when we return, definitely the conversation continues. Don't go nowhere. This is still Open Forum on mainland 98.3 FM. I'm Victor Achibong. Oᴘᴇᴜ is here with me, though looking very different, but I can tell you that he is indeed looking the path. Don't go nowhere. The second conversation is loading.
Open defecation in Nigeria perpetuates a cycle of poor health, environmental degradation, and undermines human dignity. With approximately 47 million people practicing open defecation nationwide, Nigeria ranks among the top countries globally with the highest number of individuals who lack access to proper sanitation facilities. The stats look grim. The overriding effect in itself can be terrible to our general well-being. In that light, we from mainland 98.3 FM call on the government to increase its efforts in providing public toilets to end this scourge. And we also encourage the citizenry to imbibe proper hygiene and not defecate in public.
What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were to gain?
Right back, you are welcome to the program Open Forum right here on mainland 98.3 FM. Yes, if you're just joining us, we have first discussed about the story that has to do with the policy regarding education, WAEC, writing WAEC, and also for kids to be able to gain, or pupils to be able to gain admission into tertiary institution, university, polytechnics, and the likes. And different reactions have been coming from different angles. And also at some point, we also talked about the intention of the Lagos state government to reopen the Oᴘᴇᴜ market, as a result of ensuring that Nigerians, or Lagosians rather, are able to buy what they can eat at cheaper rates. People have different reactions to that. Some persons feel it's okay, some think that it is not fine, but whichever it is, this is the intention of the Lagos state government. Now let's move into the other conversation, and I want to welcome you again. My name is Victor Achibong, and Oᴘᴇᴜ is also with me in the studio, and we are looking at all of these stories together. Don't forget, you are also going to be a part of the conversation, so don't go nowhere. Now let's talk about where the federal government is defending the invalidation of over 22,700 certificates from Togo, Benin Republic. Now, we have had this conversation over and over, coming from different angles, different platforms. In fact, just even yesterday, we also talked about it. And that is because the education minister, Professor Tɣᴑ Mamman, who was also present at the TV program, said Nigerians who obtain degree certificates from such illegal tertiary institutions are denting Nigerians' image. I need you to take a listen to what he said. It's important we hear him firsthand, and then we'll take up the conversation from that particular comments or the statements being made by Professor Tɣᴑ Mamman, the Minister of Education in Nigeria. Nigerians, don't go nowhere. This is Mainland FM 98.3, and the program is Open Forum.
It cannot by any imagination be harsh. We didn't invalidate them simply from Nigeria. Even by the laws establishing those institutions in their countries, they are not recognized. So all that we have done here in Nigeria is to say, look, we went to institutions which even the laws in those countries don't recognize as degree awarding institutions. So why should we here recognize them? And in any case, it's very painful for me when you see Nigerian students toil for 4, 5, 6 years to get their degrees, some end up with 2-2, some even with 3rd class, only to compete in the market with people who have degrees, probably who have not even stepped out of the shores of Nigeria, because a lot of them have not even left this country. These are even danger to our country, because somebody is showcasing a qualification, a certificate, for which he has no knowledge whatsoever. Absolutely no knowledge. So you come into the country, you get employed, probably into the civil service, even some medical related programs. You go into a hospital and be working there. What is going to dispense there other than to kill people? So it's this certificate incidentally actually is a global problem. It's not even a matter peculiar to Nigeria or West Africa. It's a global problem, just like financial issues, which people do. So for us, what makes it a bit easy for these people is that these are our neighbors. These are neighboring countries, and that you have now institutions that capitalize on the gullibility, and then on the insincerity of some of our people. Because if you are a parent, for God's sake, why would you want to go through that kind of thing? Collect money, take out money and give to one. Probably spend 6 months, 3 months, 1 year, into an institution which is not recognized at all. It cannot by
There you have it, the voice of Professor Tahir Mamman talking about how bad and dangerous it is for people to leave the shores of, not really leaving the shores of this country, but they pay money and they get certificate 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, sometimes 1 year, and at the detriment of people who have spent 4 years, 5 years, 6 years in Nigerian institution, and this is becoming a major problem. But there was something he also said, that some parents are gullible at this. They bought into the idea and they promoted it, they've sponsored it. Now, where does that leave the system?
Thank you very much. I will repeat again. It's just like government fighting against itself. Last administration, 8 years, we had the same issue. They were the one that evaluated this certificate and they gave them a nod. Is it not the same government? Is it not federal government? Secondly, education is on the concurrent list. It's not on the executive list. Which means the subnational, they have order. They have more power to administer procedure, policy as affect education across different states. Any maneuvering as a result of extra constitutional activities by the federal government is regarded as decree. Are we in military rule? We are not. The question now is this. The professor is because he's new. He's just waking up from slumber. After all, they must have done some handover note to him. The issue of this education racketeering did not just start in this now. He is saying 2017 till now, 21,000. Beyond that, the measure he is taking, I want this same measure to go to the House of Assembly at the state level, House of Representatives, then the Senate chamber. Let them audit them too, those that have a certificate from, because we are having more doctors. Everybody is a doctor.
So you're saying that they are also affected?
I said they should conduct forensic audit.
Okay.
They should conduct forensic audit. He is saying that he's giving. I said the Prime Minister has no right to talk about issue of education as affects state. He cannot be giving instruction because he's on the concurrent list. It's the state that has the prerogative to take a decision. I'm also giving back to the minister. What happened in the last administration? They evaluated these students and they gave them, some of them, they gave opportunity to serve. It was the same government. Is it not federal government? Is it not the same APC? After all, they said they will accept liability and asset. This is part of the liability we're talking about. I'm saying now this liability should not be limited. They have no power to exercise it in the state. They have no power to instruct companies to do. They should stay with their jurisdiction. What we're not saying is this: they should look into the evaluation procedure. It is true they are just discovering. Yes, it has been with us for long. I'm not saying it is right. I went to school here in Nigeria. I also school abroad. I also had my certificate posted for forensic investigation. I'm saying now that the man, if you must ask for equity, your hand must be clean. If you point accusing finger at one person, 4 point at you. I'm saying now that if we want to eradicate it, let's look at it professionally. Let's look at it with the. Are we saying now that everybody did not attend? It's not true. It can't be all out of these 21 children, all of them say in Nigeria. It was because of the awakening cause was because of the journalists that tried it and it failed. That's why government is working. That's why I said government is more reactionary than preparing. There are other ways, there are other procedure you could do. What we're saying is this: there are forensic audit you could do. The same forensic investigation can be done. So what I would say is this: if we want to do a thorough work, let federal government understand that is their jurisdiction. Talking about education that is supposed to be that is on concurrent list, they cannot exercise control in the states. What we're saying is this: there should be a kind of forensic audit. Most of the certificate being awarded is on the global space. They should conduct, if they really want, they should conduct forensic audit across the public institution, across the everywhere in the institution, with a view to unravel which one is. I'm not saying they should retain them, but come, let's look at the damaging situation of it now. That's why I'm saying if government really need to do, they should do a holistic program. Is it a must? Somebody must go to university. It's a craze for university.
Isn't that why the government is now coming out to defend the invalidation of these over 22,700 fake certificates collected or got from these universities in Benin and Togo? And from what they are saying is, if we continue like this, it is going to deeply eat into the system educationally and affect a lot of persons who got their own certificate using the right corridor.
And they're just waking up to see that reality. It has been with us for long. The same professor, he wasn't the Minister of Education in the last 8 years. The Minister of Education, let him go and go do diligence.
That was Adamu.
What happened? They evaluated them. The same Federal Minister of Education evaluated them and gave them pass. That's why they were able to serve. The question is, let us conduct a holistic audit of the entire process so that we're not punishing people for no. Let us go, because you see, you cannot declare all those so null and void. If they want to do the certification, yes. If they want to, if you can evaluate them. You can't just say they should go like that, invalidate them. Let us carry due diligence on the basis. Let's do proper segmentation of the entire work. All of them cannot be guilty of the same offense. So the minister cannot claim that it's 21,000. They didn't go there.
So you are saying that if the ministry or if the federal government wants to do the right thing, it should be general.
It should be general phenomenon.
So this figure is not enough for you.
This figure is not enough for me. Certificate 4G has been with us. The last DG of stock exchange, Oᴘᴇɪ, I don't know how to pronounce it. Chebi, they celebrated her as a professor. The last CEO of Eco Disco, Sanda, Chebi, they celebrated them with PhD. So all come to think of it is they got it.
All right,
where are we now seeing it? So if we want to do it,
let's hear what our listeners have got to say as regards this. Yes, Otumba is making a very, very strong statement here, saying that this should not just be for these numbers that we have been given so far. There are more, and I believe that if the Ministry of Education wants to do the right thing, if the federal government wants to do the right thing, then more people should, in fact, more names, more certificates should be invalidated. 091-36 that's the number to call. 091-36 that's the number to call to be a part of the conversation. Let's hear your thoughts as regards this. You think it's okay? This is the call. Is it okay? Okay, let's see. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, please.
My name is Lucky from Yanokbaja.
Lucky from Yanokbaja. You're welcome, please.
Thank you. 4G and all these things. It does not start, according to what you might say, it's not start from. So if you want to really go back and start it, it should not be like you go back, because as you already said, the government approved them last year, over 8 years. Why do you want to do them again? So, point of certificate is not start from now. Lack selection. We are talking about certificate too. So it's not a new thing. From the governor, senator, president, that's just because when you buy certificate, it's okay. They don't care whether you know. They just put you there for the good position, and that is why we are having problems. Assuming that when you get the certificate, you can be able to desert of this certificate. If you know how, if you will not come around. But Nigeria, when you get certificate, the employer you put it there, you just start doing the job, collecting big money. So that's how you be like when Buhari was coming, they say certificate, they say when you bring NEPA bill, it's okay. So what are we talking? Thank you, my brother.
All right, thank you very much, Lucky, for that. Still on 091 36 000 410. According to Otumba is saying that he believes that if the federal government wants to do the right thing, they should go back. They should ensure that this is going to go around to every areas that they believe certificates would have been submitted one way or the other, so that there will be a conversation. There will be, they could get job, they could get anything that they feel it's okay for them. But Otumba, if we look at it here, if the federal government is to go back into that idea that they want to go all the way, isn't this going to cost the nation?
It's not costing the look. Let me tell you, education. That's why I say federal government should know their place. Federal government should deal with the issue that is on exclusive list. Education is on concurrent list. So they cannot come and do razzmatazz across different states. They are supposed to provide the policy guideline. Even it means that they are even struggling to defend the guideline. There were a lot of violations last year. Most of the evaluations were conducted last year and they are satisfied. Are they now going against what the government has done? What we're saying is this: the federal government should do what we call damaging control. They should do a situation analysis, do condition-based analysis, look and to do the cost and outline, and do a batch specific. I'm not saying we should honor. Look, our policy has been revisited, has been revocated. Quite a lot of who is who today are still having this. Is it only Togo and Republic of Benin? How about people that went abroad and collect Mochum University, House University? You understand? So the question is, if we really want to do it, they can conduct forensic. It's a mega project. What the government is trying to get into is a mega project. It's not just like that. We have good hands who can do forensic investigation. The forensic, look, if you want to clean the house, it must first start from you. It must go through all the three. Look, let us purge the people who are in the three tiers of government. Let's purge the people who are in the legislature. Let us set a standard. Let's set a barometer. Let it be that we want to clean the nation. Because if we don't do that, it will amount to victimization. The people paid a lot of money. Are they going to return the money they use for evaluation? I agree that yes, it's not good to support so. Even right in Nigeria, there's so many Moshum University right here in Nigeria that NUC go. Is NUC doing the best they can do? Have they been able to go to a private university? Look at some of the people that is it not in this era we're having BSc in law. Some of the people that went to all these private universities, you need to interact with them. Okay, you will be able to know now that the level of education has been watered and shed down. So let's do the right thing.
All right.
The right thing let it be holistic.
The number to call is 091 36 000 410, and of course, if you want to send it via text, it's 091 36 000 430. Now, let me read the text message here. This one says, "Thank you, men in the studio. Do you know that a younger brother of mine entered university at age 16, and today is a professor of biochemistry in one of the best public universities in Nigeria? What about that? Don't mind them. They don't know what they are doing. They don't have work to do." And that's coming from Olanio Bayo from ESC Ota. Thank you very much, Olanio Bayo. I think he was reacting, to that particular first story that we took as regards 18 years for admission, and you have to be 18 before you write WAEC. So those are some of the conversation we've had first before this particular one, reacting to the federal government invalidating 22,700 certificates, already those certificates. Some of them have already used it to be working in organizations in the country. And the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, said that it is a danger to our system. A danger to our system. Okay, we go on another quick break, and when we return, we'll go into another conversation. So stay with us, people. It is still open forum on mainland 98.3. Oᴘᴇ is right here with me in the studio. I'm Victor Achibong, and of course it promises to be more interesting because we have more interesting conversations to talk about.
On all our social media platforms, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM, on Twitter at Mainland FM. We are the sound of Lagos.
Oga Police, no worry, I see you. You know you can do the right thing, right? You know you can do without that bribe. You know you don't even have to harass that young man because he is properly dressed. And you think he's a Yahoo boy? You don't even have to assault that citizen whom you have sworn an oath to protect. Yes, we understand that the pay is not good enough to take you home, that you are still wearing a uniform that you bought with your own money 5 years ago. It's no news that the government has not done enough by you. We feel your pain and we wish things could be different as we continue to call on government to wake up to their responsibilities. We want the police to be our friends, just as it is boldly stated across the various police stations nationwide. And from mainland 98.3 FM, we implore you to do better. We love you and we support you always.
You're welcome back, and of course this is still open forum on right here on mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Victor Achibong. Oᴘᴇ is right here with me, and we are looking at stories that made the round during the week. Also, you are at liberty to have your own conversation, your own stories. You can talk about your own story, any of the stories at all that is striking to you. You want to bring it to the front burner, feel free to do that. That's the whole idea of the open forum. But of course, there are stories that we also bring on board so that we can talk about it again and again. Like one of the callers did say, we need to keep saying all of this so that it will get to the right channel, and that is what we'll try as much as possible to do. And like I also replied, it is also within your purview, your responsibility to also keep talking so that we can have that conversation. So we have looked at the issue of age when it comes to education, whether you want to write WAEC or you are going to be gaining admission into the university coming from the Ministry of Education. The policy is you have to be 18 years of age, and we've got some reactions. In fact, somebody texted that the younger brother of his gained admission into the university at 16 years of age, and right now is a professor in one of the universities in Nigeria as a professor of biochemistry. Interesting, isn't it? And we have different and different various reactions, to the point that even Dr. Bukola Dosumu, who happens to be the former president of Association of Private School Proprietors, is in support of it. She is in support of it, that it will help to curb a lot of problems. But Atiku Abubakar said, no, this is wrong because it is like taking us back to the Stone Age. In fact, at some point, he said that the federal government is like a sailor lost at sea. Now, we also had to go into the conversation where the federal government said that on their part, that they are out to defend why they invalidated the over 22,700 certificates that some Nigerian students got from a neighboring country, Benin Republic and Togo. And as a result of that, they feel it's a danger to the system, it's a danger to those who had paid in with their hard-earned time, their sweat, effort academically to gain certificates or to get their certificate. Some of them even got to a 2-2, third class, and yet they are not getting a job. Whereas these other ones, they've got job and they've been doing well for themselves. And now we are going into another conversation where we need to bring to the picture the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Yes, she's saying, as one of the keynote speakers at the NBA conference, she's saying this has to stop. This has to stop. She's asking politicians to stop weaponizing insecurity. Now, let me quote her here. What she actually said is that we cannot have socio-economic development without security. We certainly cannot have security without development. We all know that security has been weaponized in our country for political purposes by political actors, leading partly to the situation we have now. We have politicians who believe that the best way to make their opponents look bad is to instigate insecurity, making it look like they can't govern, regardless of whether this leads to loss of lives and property of innocent Nigerians. This has to stop. That, of course, is coming from the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. And now this brings me back to what the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, said sometimes ago. I think about 4 or 5 months back when he was with the lawmakers, the Senate. He said that the unrests that they were passing through back then in Abuja was as a result of some persons who were busy carrying out such acts. They were the ones promoting insecurity. They were the ones promoting banditry activities. They were the ones. If I remember a story of a man with 6 children, one of the girls was killed, and they paid heavily for that. So when the Minister of FCT was saying, he said these things are politically promoted. And here we have the DG of the World Trade Organization giving a very strong statement. Yes, she was addressing, the NBA at the NBA conference, but she made a very strong statement. This has to stop. That politicians have weaponized insecurity. Otumba Kenny, let me leave you to have your say on this matter.
I was just smiling. Let's ask ourselves one question. The problem we have in today, we caused it ourselves because of what people call entitlement mentality. Date back to the last administration, we open our border for them to come in. During election, these are the people they use for election to win election. We have under 8 people that voted. Some of them are not Nigerian, are Nigerians. Who brought them in? It's them Nigerian. I would have loved the lecture the W2DG gave. He should go and give it in the legislative house. He should go and address the House of Rep, House of Senate, House of Assembly. Let him go and give lecture to them over there. Because let's talk. What is the nature of election? Look, we don't have democracy in Nigeria. We have electionocracy. Because look,
Otumba, we are celebrating, or we have celebrated uninterrupted 25 years of democracy.
I said you don't have democracy in Nigeria. I'm telling you now. There hadn't been any democracy in Nigeria. We have electionocracy in Nigeria. That is characterized with meritocracy, kakikocracy. That's what we've been doing. There hadn't been any meaningful election. Look at the election we've been doing. The last election was only 29%. The previous election is 35% of people who voted. If truly democracy is by the people for the people, and it's of the people by the people for the people, does they matter? The question we're saying is we need to come back to the reality of what we're talking about. Most of elections in Nigeria are characterized by impunity and violence. Many of these so-called political juggernauts, that's how they got in there. They weaponize it. Look, in any election, either local government or not, you will see people carrying out. We now ask, how did the firearm enter into this country? Who bought it for them? Many of these politicians were saying they have their own people. They say political stalwart, political this. Those are the structure we're talking about. They say you are affecting my structure. Those are the structure we're talking about. Is that a political structure? Tell me the party that works with party ideology. Why is it that there is a characteristic of violence and impunity in every election? Will the same man carry gun? Where did they get the gun? Are we not the one that opened our border for them? Are we now crying foul now? Is it now we are now saying they weaponize? Have they not been weaponizing since?
We have seen situations where INEC has always called for a free, fair election, and of course, before all of these political parties they go into any election, they always sign a peace accord.
So look, that is semantic. I said there hadn't been any democracy. I'm saying it. We have been having election, no crazy. It is election. And the election has been characterized by impunity of violence and transactional. Look at the violence. Go to River State and hear what is happening. Is that politics? When people that carry gun? The question was saying, this weaponizing, it is how they've been getting there. That's why we don't have political ideology. We only have people who will write manifesto, and when they come there, they work contrary to the manifesto. Tell me any party that has a manifesto and I don't went through that manifesto. Tell me any party that is because we don't have a round peg in the square hole. So that had been the culture of election. Unless we have a total structural reform, electoral reform. I'm saying electoral reform, we good review, but we have structural approach. Well, people talk about capacity, competence. Do we have capacity, competence, and we're going and we're like this? People are hungry.
So a while ago you talked about political ideology.
Yes.
And now we know that when it comes to all of these ideologies, the electorates, the people, those who follow the parties, they have their own intention, they have their own goal.
They have their
and at the end of the day, we find out that most of these people don't even want to go with whatever kind of education, politically or ideology that is being preached out there. Because I know that, for some political parties, they have a way of talking to their people. So is it more of the ideologies that they preach one way or the other, or the education they tend to give the electorate, or the electorates deciding to do a different thing entirely, or politicians coming out to do different things entirely?
Because some of them are like that, but some of them are so strong, in terms of for some of them regard themselves as blue blood, some of them regard themselves as the owner of Nigeria. That is it. The weaponize. Look, it is the weaponizing that the DG is saying is not even weapon. The weapon of hunger and anger, the weapon of endemic corruption. Is that not enough? Many people are poor today by this politician. When they get a fiscal allocation, they convert it to dollar. The worst government we are having is at the subnational level. Some of them, why is it that when they finish, they run to House of, they run to Senate, they run to this, they have a lot of money, and they continue the impunity. Look at it, the Senate, some of them are only 29 million, whereas they are struggling to pay 70. Hunger is the order of the day. We have so many billions.
Well, as regards that money, they said that the money for them is for constituency projects.
No, hold on.
Okay.
It is they say they earn 1 point something million as their salary.
As a salary, exactly.
But the cost of operation.
The breakdown was given there. The breakdown was given. The basic salary and then other allowances all together puts about 1.3, 1.4 million.
Hold on. Cost of operation is 21 million. The basic salary is this, but the cost of running their government activity is 21 million in Nigeria.
Constituency projects, that's what they call it.
That is constituency project is a different ballgame entirely. House allowance, clinical allowance, toilet allowance, battery allowance. Look at the jeep they bought. And having they weaponize us, why is there some of them have stayed over 30-something years there? They don't want to go. They have no other sense to do any other thing unless they are. Some of them, the power they are there is hegemony. Some of them, they bring their second generation to the assembly. Why are we talking about this? Why do we need a bicameral legislature? What use have they been to us? And let me ask, who can tell me there's a free, fair election that is not characterized by the impunity of violence? How did the Pᴏʟɪᴛ come into this country? Who opened the border for them to come when they are giving them some statement to come? And they refuse to go. Why is it that during election they bring people in, they will ask them to go? These people, they bring them in, weaponize them, at the election they leave them to go. Why is it? Look at the Nigeria. Tell me which state that we don't have impunity of violence. With somebody who is learned, who has gone to school, carry gun? Answer. So it is a culture we have accepted. So if you want to do it, it's not now. That's what electorate must rise up. Stomach invasion. You see, the weapon they weaponize is not even with gun, because gun is already there. Proliferation. Who has money to buy sophisticated weapon? Tell me. Who has money for the non-state actor? The weapon they use is much more sophisticated. Is it not the political you are not? Is it not to continue hold us in perpetuity and in captivity? Who did it?
All right, Otumba. Let's open the phone lines and see Hear from our listeners as regards this particular story that we just brought to the front burner. The Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has urged politicians in Nigeria to stop weaponizing insecurity against their opposition in office. 091-3600-410. That's the number to call. Text message is 091-3600-430. As regards this particular conversation or any other conversation you want to, have your say or contribute into, be free to do that on the numbers that I just wrote out to you. And that's on 091-3600-410. Let's hear. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, please.
Ajibola back online.
All right, Ajibola.
Otumba, God bless you, sir. Sincerely speaking, and may God bless your generation. And you just spoken my mind. That is just the simple truth. See, it's not bitter. It's because of your own bitterness. That is just the simple truth. We have not been practicing democracy in this country, and people just keep on saying we are practicing democracy. Where is the democracy? Please, Victor, do you know can anybody give 5,000 naira and you not carry AK-47 because of election? It can't happen to you and I don't even know where these people are. I don't know where I can go and give any. They are the
Ajibola, we have a democracy, and that is what we are sitting on.
That is not democracy. We should be what about what they are saying.
Ajibola,
this is not democracy.
It is a democracy.
Thank you, sir. This is a location. We are not practicing anything close to democracy. That's just the fact. Me and you, we don't know anywhere that the results are. I don't even know their name. That I will give them weapons.
They say I pay for it.
All right.
They are the one that will give Agbero the gun. They are the one that will give all these people the gun.
Thank you very much, Ajibola. Appreciate that. But then we need to say it. Yes, Otumba's stand is that he said it's electionocracy. But the truth of the matter is that we operate a democracy, and of course, it's a government for the people by the people. And every one of us, we are involved. We are involved. We are involved. Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Turn down the volume on your radio set, please.
Yes, I've turned it down.
Thank you.
Am I okay to pay?
Yes, you are.
I'm Pastor Badamosi from Sulere.
Pastor Badamosi, you're welcome.
Yes, you see, democracy is a local thing, as I believe. It's localized.
Localized or globalized?
Localized, yes. We cannot take American democracy, compare with British democracy, with Spanish democracy, with German democracy, with other African countries, with Egypt democracy. We have a democracy in Nigeria, but it is our own homegrown democracy. What Otumba said is correct. Anyway can go. As long as we say we have democracy, anything can go. So if we are yet to arrive, but we are in progress. It's in progress. It's a
work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
Okay.
Yes. So democracy is our own. It's like what we have here is our own. It's our homegrown democracy. We can blow ourselves, beat ourselves, but we need something. If anybody can come around and make voting so cheap, like electronic voting, you can vote anywhere, then all these things will go down. Let us have the courage to say, okay, you can vote, but I believe strongly they won't do it because they will, for a lot of political factors, they will not do it. We will continue to do the manual one.
All right.
Where we can blow each other.
Thank you, Pastor Badamosi. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, you're up. Hello?
Hello, Victor.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Don Peters.
All right, Don Peters.
I'm calling from Lɪධᴇ.
Don Peters, you're welcome.
Victor, do you know why I love your station? Because of the intellectual discussion that always comes out of it. Because of the quality of the guests you always bring. But I am a bit lost with the last caller who say that we have a democracy of anything goes, Agbero goes, Pogri goes, democracy, hooliganism goes in our democracy. I don't get it. I love intellectual discussion. If he can call back to portray his point so that so many Nigerians who are listening will not miss the point, I think it will be better. Because we have a standard democracy all over the world, and those who are practicing it are making headway. And somebody in the name of a man of God called and said, the democracy of anything goes. I think it's not adding up for me. Why? Because we have democracy in New Zealand, we have democracy in Australia, in Britain, and those countries are making headway. Everybody admires to go there. And somebody is here privatizing that of hooliganism, the people who are weaponizing poverty, and is here endorsing it, and they call himself pastor. I think he should call back to portray his point, because I love intellectual discussions. I think many Nigerians do. He should call back to tell us what he means by our own of anything goes is okay, because it's not okay by me. I'm being very honest.
All right,
I've been loving Otoba's discussion. He has been on point. But the last caller has just messed everything up. Let's still call back to tell us what he means by anything goes, democracy. I think I'm not getting it. Because Caribbeans are making headways, and even Rwanda are making headways. With their own democracy. And somebody is telling me anything goes is okay, and he's calling himself a pastor.
We won't take that. We won't take that. Thank you very much, Don Peter. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Oᴘᴇᴜ Kayode here.
All right, welcome, Oᴘᴇᴜ Kayode.
Well, it's quite funny when we say we're not practicing a democracy. And to even make it worse, we are comparing ourselves with a Rwanda. That's a police country. What Otumba just said already, you can't say it in Rwanda. Is that a democracy? It's not. So what we are saying is that we have government of the people, for the people, by the people. You have your House of Assembly, you have your Senate, you have your Rep, you have your judiciary. If we are not practicing it right, that is our problem. Democracy is not the problem. Even in America, you are shouting. There is still a lot of issues as regards their election, because a lot of illegal aliens continue to vote there. What have they done? Has the world fallen down? The world has not fallen down. So there are challenges in any democracy in the world. The problem is how we do it. Are we saying government is not giving money out to people to do what is right? Don't we have a budget? Are we not following it? Don't we make spending? Don't we make expenditure? So what is the problem with that? Democracy is what it is. If you refuse to practice your own way, that is our problem. The issue is with us. We either learn to do what is right and do it right so that it can be better for us tomorrow. All of us must stand up and fight for our rights. If you feel your local government chairman is not doing right, call him to order. If you feel your rep and all of that, call them to order. Giving excuses will not change anything. Thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you very much, Oᴘᴇᴜ Kayode, for your submission there, and also Don Peter. Both of them standing on the ground that yes, what we have in our country is democracy. It's all about how we are able to practice it, because we can tell you for free, a lot of countries in the world, this is what we practice, this is what they practice, and Nigeria is not different. Nigeria is not an exemption. 25 years of unbroken democracy, 25 years of uninterrupted democracy, yes, we can say for free. But the question, or rather the message that Okonjo-Iweala is actually passing across to the people, is that it has to stop. And who is she talking to? She's talking to politicians, that you have to stop weaponizing insecurity as a means of getting your way into office and making your opposition feel like they are not even working at all, because this is not going right in any direction. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, you are speaking with Victor, but I would need you to shift a little from where you are because of the reception.
Okay, can you hear me now?
This is much better.
Okay, I made the program halfway. I've been very busy. So but I heard when people are talking of democracy. Otumba, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
But I didn't hear Otumba very well. In fact, I didn't hear him. Okay, if we are practicing democracy, what kind of democracy will we say we are practicing now?
what kind of democracy are we practicing? Where you cannot protest. What kind of democracy are we practicing? Where when the people say this is what they want, the executive will say this is what they want. If we are practicing democracy, what kind of democracy are we practicing? Where the president has the power to appoint the chief justice of the federation, whereas the three of them are supposed to be at par. If we say we are practicing democracy, how come that the constitution was forced on us by the military? And since 1999, we have not been able to change it. If we say we are practicing democracy, why is it that the law for some people is different? Look at the issue of education now, that they are saying that people should go, there must be 18 years, and their children don't school here. Their children go abroad to go and school, and they are now forcing us to start doing what they cannot do. Is that democracy? The Americans that were, do they go outside to take health treatment, or they go outside? We are practicing democracy, and $1 is 2,000 naira. See, we can continue to be rhetorical. We can continue to twist it. If somebody is deceiving me, I cannot deceive myself. Nigeria, one of the callers said we should take up issues. The local government is owing me 6 million for how many years now? He refused to pay. I have told everybody. He said I should report it to anybody. He's not going to do anything. Is that democracy? Where a man in local government, they worship the chairman. You go to state, the local government, everybody worships the governor. And then the president is the most powerful man in the world. Is that democracy? This is not democracy. Oh. This one now, I don't know the name we can call it. Just when that election comes, people should just go and vote. And when they finish voting, the result, they go and contest it.
All right.
And everybody will say, I won.
Thank you very much, Pastor Ambrose. Yes, appreciate it. Thank you. Hello?
I think I will let me show some comments.
Okay, let's hear from this caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes,
good
please.
Afternoon,
yeah, you're welcome. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good afternoon. This is Mr. James from Agbado Junction.
Good afternoon.
Oh, Mr. James, you're welcome.
Just like previous callers have said, although we know the name of what we are practicing, the system of government we are having today is democracy, but in terms of practicalization, we are far from it. So, how can a democracy be when a president can be the one in charge of both judiciary and even be the one to shoot the INEC umpire? Okay, take for instance in Buhari time, when he took over, I know how you use DSS to break into judges' houses and pick them at the middle of the night. And you and I knew how those judges were forced to retire. When we had judicial council based on the rule of law, we do things accordingly. We are practicing democracy when Onogen supposed to be the one in charge of NJC because of Buhari's aspiration of 2019. If he did not allow the judicial council to do the investigation on him, he was the one that removed the man single-handedly. So, and this is the people that are supposed to work on the same path because we have three arms of government and we are practicing democracy. You see, if we do not do something about our electoral law, whereby we be able to, screen all the candidates that, jostling for offices and know the right person to put in the right places. Believe you me, we will continue going around with the same set of people. And this one you and I are witnessing today will continue. And the future of our children is still being bastardized. Even our current situation, not even future. So, if something is not done about that electoral act, for it to be amended where necessary, then we are just like chasing shadows. But thank you for all this conversation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
James
much for the point you made so far.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Victor.
Hello. Okay.
Victor, I think I need to make a point.
Okay, Otumba, quickly.
Now, the point I'm making is that people should not misconstrue what I said. There is in principle and in practice. In principle, we say we're doing democracy, but in practice, I call it electionocracy. Quite most of the people in authority, they came through the Supreme Court. Is that still democracy? Most of the governors, quite sizable of them, they came through the court pronouncement. Do you call that democracy?
But that is part of the law. It's part of the law that, when you have issues, you go and settle it in the courts.
Hold on. Is that
Otunba, let's hear this particular caller. He's been calling since as well. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon. You're welcome. The name?
Yeah. Am I on to Mainland FM?
Yes, you are live.
Line.
Yes, you are live.
Yeah.
Mainland FM 98.3. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, this is Victor calling from United Kingdom.
All right, Victor.
I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe the program I'm listening to is way behind, or I'm live on the station.
You are live on the station.
Yeah, concerning the comment, I want to talk concerning the democracy issues that is being raised currently. The discussion on the democracy. I think the major problem we guys are having is comparing Nigeria with other Western world. Every country has their challenges. Nigeria have its own challenges. And I still want to appreciate the presenter for still maintaining the stand that we are practicing democracy in Nigeria, though we have our challenges. I think the major problem with Nigeria's system of democracy is the kind of structure we are currently running on. Even if we bring a missile from America or Britain to come and rule in Nigeria, we still have the same problem, which is our presidential mode of governance. I think the major problem we have in Nigeria now is we need to restructure the kind of government we are operating on. Maybe it can be regional, I don't know, but we are practicing democracy. We only have our own challenges. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Victor from United Kingdom, dropping his comments there. Otunba, quickly.
What I'm saying is it is true we call it democracy. But what I will still maintain is that as of today, why is it that most of what we do is audacious but remain repulsive and reactionary? Are we running a people-centric approach? Do people have a say in the government? Those are the questions we're saying. It is true we can call it democracy. Yes, that's why I said there's a difference between in principle and in practice. If it is in principle, yes, we say we are running democracy. I'm saying now that most of the people in government came through court. I'm now saying now that there's a kind of divide and rule in the entire system. I'm now thinking, why do we have marginalization? Why do we have a secession? Why do we have people who keep on saying now that they are being short-changed, short-served? Currently, even women are even protesting that they've not been able to make 35 allocation due to Benjamin Pro. What we're saying is this: if people really matter, then we shouldn't be suffering by now. If people are carried along, because democracy is of the people, by the people, and for the people, that is the tenet of democracy. But when you say you are practicing democracy, electionocracy, it was election that brought you in. I'm not saying it's not democracy.
So we have democracy.
We have democracy.
Okay, that's great.
I'm not saying we don't have democracy. I said democracy in principle, democracy in practice. In principle, we have democracy because we follow the tenet. But in practice, as of today, can we call it democracy? No, it's electionocracy because it is not people-centric.
So I want to believe that even though we may not be able to get it completely, but we have it.
I said we have elements of democracy.
Elements of it.
Element of democracy.
Hello.
But it is characterized by electionocracy.
Good afternoon.
It is election that give people.
Good afternoon.
Yes, the name and where you're calling from.
This is Pastor Badam. I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Yes.
Are you calling because you want to clear the air?
No. What the other guy said about me. I mean, I don't want to say anything about it because that's
okay. That's great. I like that too. That's fantastic.
That's so couple.
Yes.
What I'm trying to say
Let's just move.
We have comparative democracy, and that's what I'm emphasizing on. There are people who are studying comparative democracy. You have, as Baba Tumba Odubemi said, in principle, we are practicing that we are doing democracy. But in practice, if you do management, even if you go to Harvard and study management, if you come to Nigeria, what you study in Harvard cannot work here. It is localized. So people who are doing comparative management know what I'm talking about. If you are doing comparative democracy is localized, and we are evolving.
It's an evolving.
Okay.
It's an
Pastor
evolving
Badamasi,
thing.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
very much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Hello. Hello. You're up. Are you there? Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
I will need you to speak up so that we can all hear you very loud and clear.
Okay, this is Chris. I'm calling from Oja.
You are still very, very low. Please pick it up. Pick up the pace. Put some energy to your voice.
My name is Chris.
Your name is. That is much better. Chris from where?
Ojo.
Ojo. Ojo is very big. What part of Ojo are you calling from?
Agreed.
Okay, that's great. Okay, fire down. Your thoughts.
Yeah, my take is on the education.
All right, that's great.
Mom.
Let's hear you. Put some life to it.
I think for me, is absurd the kind of people who have in leadership and the kind of thinking they always bring to us. How come you always people the leaders always come up with things that kind of give us headache most times instead of trying to the words that say, why do you want to slow down those young kids that have knowledge that are moving in space? I want to slow them down, or because you want to talk about maturity and they are not yet ready for tertiary environment of education and stuff like that. It's absurd, seriously, because when you're talking about a generation that is moving, a young generation of students. For me, in the next 10 years, most people you see in the university, they will be below 20 and 19. You understand? So why do you want to stop the pace? Because only in the name of maturity, and they can't handle it. And some even came up with something like courtism, that most of them, when they get into tertiary, there's always courtism. Do you think most of these students in secondary school, they don't involve in courtism? That's not an evil, that's not an avenue of argument for me. I think they should just stop this, because I have a 4-year cousin.
Okay, Chris, I think your network is doing you some funny things there. Yeah, but it's not really working for me. Okay, sorry about that, Chris. Okay, hello. Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Victor.
Yeah, thank you very much. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Lawal Taufik. I'm calling from Surulere.
Your name is what?
Lawal Taufik.
Okay, Lawal Taufik from Surulere. Okay, your point.
Yes, sir. I greet Otumba.
Hello, sir. Thank you, sir.
You see, like I always say, our problem in Nigeria is spiritual. That's number one. Secondly, we are not educated enough concerning voter. When we are voting, you see people voting because of just ordinary 1,000. A cup of gari. Now they start their palliative standing among themselves now. I'm telling you, election come tomorrow now. These are the same people who still win election. These are the problems we are facing. Here and there. How many people are listening to this kind of program? Now, I tell my people in mainland, I give thanks to Almighty God. For me, I'm just not forget all the rules, but I know who to vote for. I'm not for them that win election, because I will not vote based on religion. Thanks very much, my brother.
Thank you very much. Inspector General of Police has vowed to rescue 2,149 kidnapped victims. As a matter of fact, every person that is in captivity, held in kidnappers' den, the Inspector General of Police has vowed that all of them will be rescued. And yet we have the story or the issue of state policing still facing us right there in our face. We'll be right back after this very, very short break. Don't go nowhere, people. This is Team Mainland 98.3 FM. Appreciate the fact that, yes, we're all coming on board to have our contributions. So stay with me, please. Don't go nowhere. We still have some few minutes before we go. 1 or 2 more stories that are on the menu. We have to take all of the stories together.
Hey, Papa Solo, abeg come. Wetin be this cholera wey dey talk?
Na so me sef hear am o.
I hear say Lagos state government talk say no be only vomit o. Even if you dey go toilet wey dey call diarrhea, that one sef na another symptom o. So aside from vomiting, if you dey go toilet and if you get fever, your body dey hot, na wetin Lagos state government talk o say be the symptoms o.
Make me sef just go ask my children whether dem sef dey get headache or whether dem get body temperature. Make me sef carry dem go hospital. Abeg o, no use cholera play o.
See make sure say the water wey you drink e dey clean. Your environment you clean am well.
Abeg, try to wash your hand anytime when you use your toilet and before you chop. Clean your hand well o. This message na from Mainland 98.3 FM. Cholera disease e real o.
It's 2:30 and this is Open Forum. Yes, it is on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Victor Achibong and Oᴘᴇᴜᴜ is also with me in the studio. Together we're looking at a lot of stories. Yes, we've talked about the stories surrounding the 18 years, whether you are 18 or not. You just make sure that 18 is somewhere there. In case you want to write WAEC, NECO or what have you. And if you want to gain admission, 18 has to be there. Nothing less, nothing. Okay, there could be more, but nothing less. All right. Now, we also have the conversation around, federal government coming out to defend the invalidation of over 22,700 certificates got from Togo and Benin Republic. Some of the certificates, a lot of the holders have used it to secure jobs in prominent organizations, and they've been doing very well for themselves. But as it were, the federal government of Nigeria, through the Ministry of Education, has placed a total ban on these certificates. Now, at some point, we heard Otumba saying they should make it holistic. It shouldn't just be on some persons working in one or two organizations. Why not go down to the House of Reps? Why not go and meet the Senate? Why not ask some of the governors? Why not ask our leaders, the lawmakers, the policy makers, the policy shakers, Afana, what's going on with your own result? And then we also had a conversation where the DG of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, is asking politicians to stop it. And what she's saying, stop weaponizing insecurity, using it to affect whoever that is sitting on the table, so that you look as if that person is not working. And there was a time where the Federal Capital Territory Minister, talking about in Nyesom Wike, he said that these things are being promoted by people who are not happy, disgruntled politicians who don't see the need for we to work. Go and ask everywhere. We have been working and will continue to work. Let them continue to earn themselves. In fact, he said a whole lot to the point that he had so much backlash. And we have the DG also saying this, that you people need to stop it because you have weaponized insecurity. And so many persons have been having reactions. Now, let's go to another conversation, people. If you're just joining me, this is 33 minutes past 2 p.m. So it means in 27 minutes or thereabout, we should be rounding up the conversation. It is Open Forum. And you also have the opportunity of talking. You can go to Facebook and drop your comments there. I will read some of them there. I will also read your messages via WhatsApp and text. All right? And those are the platforms that you can communicate with us. The number is still 091-36000410. If you have to call, if it is a WhatsApp message or text message, you do that on 091-36000430. Now, if you have to go to Facebook, just go and search Mainland 98.3 FM on Facebook and on YouTube and leave your comments there. Now, I said before I go on break, or before I went on that break, that the Inspector General has vowed to rescue all Nigerians in captivity. Quite an interesting story, isn't it? Now, we have a soundbite we're going to play coming from Femi Falana, human rights activist, senior advocate of Nigeria. But before that, let's just drop the message here that the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, on Tuesday assured citizens that every Nigerian held in captivity across the country will be safely rescued. Egbetokun made these statements at the Force Headquarters while reflecting on and appraising the effectiveness of the recent operations that successfully rescued 20 medical students and 7 others. Now, this was contained in a statement issued by the first spokesperson in the person of Muyiwa Adejobi on Tuesday. The medical students were abducted on 15th of August, prompting widespread demands from Nigerians and various organizations for their safe recovery. And that is quite interesting. We've been talking about state policing for a very long time. In fact, as a matter of fact, the federal government of Nigeria has given the go-ahead. Come on, governors, come back with the templates on how you think we need to structure state policing. We have some South states, Ondo states. We have some of them out there. They already have one or two, structure. We know the Omotekun, how effective they have been, although once in a while, they've also had their own, fair share of attacks. I'm talking about the inability to be able to stop or counter any kind of attack coming from unscrupulous elements out there. Now we have Femi Falana. He was addressing lawyers at the NBA conference. I think we need to listen to him, and then we'll fashion our conversation from there. Otumba, don't go nowhere, no people, or don't go nowhere, people. It is still mainland. Let's take a listen to what Femi Falana has to say.
Maybe apart from the IG, nobody today is supposed to stay police. No serious Nigerian. As the Honorable Attorney General of Rivers has just said, we now know the selfish consideration of the police. That if we have a state police today, all the money being given to us now will be gone. But sir, and I think the governors, please, you must help us. You must help us. You have federal road safety, they carry guns. NDLA, EFCC, they bear arms. Prisons, all of them bear arms. And I have challenged the federal government. Yes, you are right. Section 214 says there shall be only one Nigerian police force. What of these other forces that now carry guns? In fact, unfortunately, Aketi's last brief to me, I was pleading for consideration. Please, let your secretary to government put it in writing. I was arguing, and I said, if although they won't give me a license, but if my chairman applies to the police, to the authority, I want a gun to protect me and my family. They will give you. They won't give me saying that I want to shoot somebody in Abuja. Now, and I argued, Aketi, if big people, rich people are giving guns to protect their families, what should stop you from acquiring 5,000 licenses to protect 5 million people? It's FME or Olosoyon. There's a sense in that. Can we go to court? Unfortunately, the letter was supposed to come before it took kill. The point I'm making, sir, is discriminatory to protect a few people and not to protect all of us. Secondly, sir, our governors, including your good self, sir, have collectively, I think unconsciously, handed over the police powers of Nigeria to the president. And I'll tell you how. Section 216 says, if you are going to remove or appoint an IG, the president shall consult the Nigerian Police Council. Who are the members of the Nigerian Police Council? The president only as the chairman, IG, chairman Police Council, and the 36 state governors. So out of 39 of them, 36 are chief executives of the state. What are the functions of the Nigerian Police Council? Sir, Schedule 7, to administer, organize, and supervise the Nigerian police force. But what have you done since 1999, sir? Is to allow the president alone to exercise police powers in our country. So we must now go, my brother, beyond chapter 2. Section 318 defines the government of Nigeria. To me, the federal government, the state government, and even
the voice of Femi Falana, human rights activist, and of course the senior advocate of Nigeria, right there at the NBA conference, addressing lawyers and talking to them. And interestingly, we have a conversation around the police where the IG has vowed to rescue everyone in captivity kidnapped in Nigeria. And of course, as you already heard, that was coming from the heels of the fact that yes, the police went on a successful rescue mission and they were able to rescue 15 medical doctors and some other persons. Now, going by that statement, that I want to make sure that all of these people who are held in captivity are rescued, and knowing how important state policing is in Nigeria, he has kicked against it. He said it that as a country, we are not ready. Here we have Fᴏʀᴜ Fᴏʀ�ᴜ saying, aside from him, no other person is opposing. How do you think that the IG, the Nigerian police, will, by all means, let's go back to what happened some years back. It's over 10 years now that we have some girls from Chibok and even Dapchi who are in captivity. Now, how are they going to achieve this? Rescue Nigerians who are held captive.
Thank you very much. You said the word rescue. What the IG is saying is just a political statement. You know, I always believe in principle and in practice. Let us now look at it critically. How will that one happen? If you define the word rescue, let's look at it. Rescue. Let's define rescue. You are coming in between people who, you know, there is a captor, there is a captive. If you rescue the captive, what happened to the captors? Those are the analysis we're talking about. You understand my explanation?
Go ahead.
Why are they saying the rescue? If you say the rescue, you have the captive. What happened to the captor? Did you allow the captor to go? Which means there were inherent negotiation. Because if truly you went to war, what we want to see is getting the captors, showing them. That shows you have really done the work. If you say you rescue takes so many functions under conflict resolution. So, and what I see is a political language is that there were issues.
Like the one we had in Lagos State, where 9 kidnappers, billionaire kidnappers, were forward. Their activities were forward.
Those are the people that you say you actually conduct the work, because the action must be on the captors, not on the captive. That's why I said it's a political language, and we all understood why. He was supposed to have designed, but they are planning of, you know, retaining him to still be the IG, so he has to talk the language to retain his job. Pure and simple. Who has been frustrating this issue is the subnational that have been frustrating. Buhari, the last administration, has created an enabler. They frustrated it. Now they have almost 2 or 3 times the physical allocation they are having. What stops us from having a regional, a community policing? There is a clear-cut distinction they will do. We talk about kinetic or non-kinetic. Is that also? But when there's no balance between kinetic and non-kinetic, there can't be any.
The IGP thinks that we are not ready for it. Having state policing.
That is a political statement. That to me is a political. How are we not ready for it?
I heard you when you said that the subnationals have not been helping matters. So coming from the IGP as well, if you the subnationals are going to, you know, take charge of state policing.
That is not true.
And you know, from the last conversation we also had again, from the last conversation where Oᴘᴇᴜ says that politicians are weaponizing insecurity.
That is a separate thing. That statement is a separate thing. That is in line with the election. Because they create instability to be able to hide a lot of things. The weaponizing, they are saying, look, all those banditry, all those Boko Haram, they are fictitious. They are just do not effect to cover what they are doing. They took it as a job. It's a job. It's all a man-made affairs. Let's be frank. That one is a man-made affair to create instability, to be able to continue to exploit us. I don't want to have digestion. What we're saying is the IG has just said something political, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. The question we're saying is this: who frustrated is the people at substance? Why are you holding on to center? So it means if you are in Ijebu, something happens, you have to listen to direction in Abuja. It's not going to work. What we're saying is we want community policing. All over the world, there are federal policing, there are state policing, there are district policing, that is why we're able to solve. Look, if we don't do it, it means we will continue to pay Peter and rob Paul all this, you can see the budget of we're covering to insecurity. We spent about 12 trillion in the last regime. Did we resolve it? No, because we're still retaining the federal structure. Now we have budgeted 3 trillion to maintain security architecture. Have we gotten result? No. We are saying rescue. It's not the word rescue we want to hear. If you actually rescue, where are the captors? If to say the most of the captors have been taken in captivity, then they will have stopped it.
All right, let me read some messages. I'm going to open the phone line, but let me read some messages on Facebook here. Kenny Smiles is saying, keep it up with the love emojis. Thank you very much, Kenny. Kenny Smiles on that. Kunle Kayode is saying that we are blaming democracy for not doing things right. Who do you blame for your electionary crazy? Those who run the affairs of the nation were elected by you and I. Is democracy why we are still producing 1.3 million barrels per day? That's talking about crude now. Is democracy responsible for the devaluation of the naira? Whatever troubles we have are caused by us. We should be held responsible for not correcting the ills of the society that isn't working for us. The excuses we give are not tenable. Our democracy is people-centric because your votes count. The US is a republic. The president picks who is going on the Supreme Court, or is going to the Supreme Court, I think so. Now, is that undemocratic? The fact remains, we are all part of where Nigeria is today. So let's own up and do what's needed to get our country where we want it to be. That's coming from Kunle Kayode. Thank you very much for that. He also called. Aliyu Abdurrahim says, good afternoon, Mr. Victor and Otumba Kenny. Wike should stop. No, we're not talking about Wike here. We're just making as a reference point. Okay, thank you very much, Rahim. But let me still read it because it's open forum. Okay, Wike should stop lamenting. All we want is to give us names. Are they not all the same? I'm with Rahim from Agege. Thank you very much. Yes, it's open forum, so we can also take that conversation. Thank you very much. Kabiru Adigbenro says, good afternoon, Mr. Victor. I am happy to hear that cheering news from the IGP to rescue those kidnapped alive. God bless my country, Nigeria. That's a positive one there. I think the positivity is what we need in this country. Thank you very much. Aliyu Abdurrahim is also saying, Oga Victor, we are not running democracy in this country. How will I appoint head of judiciary and judge against me? It can't never work. Our leaders, judiciary and INEC chairman are our real problems in this country because they were all appointed by Mr. President. This is also coming from Rahim from Agege. Thank you very much, Rahim from Agege. Keep it coming. We have just a few more minutes here. Now let's go back to the phone line and hear what we've got to say. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, I'd like to talk on the issue of whether we are ready for state police or not.
Your name and where you're calling from? Pastor Ambrose,
Pastor
okay.
Ambrose,
all right,
yes,
thank you.
Let me tell you why they are saying we are not ready, we are not right for state police. Do you know if all the states have their police, everybody will respect themselves? Everybody will do things and things will fall in places. I'm telling you, because all of us know what is right. Once there is state police now, elections will be free and fair. I'm telling you the truth. Federal government, they will not usurp any state power. They will allow court and the rule of law to prevail. We are ready for state police. We are just saying we are not ready because of all these our wuru ways of behavior. I'm telling you, if we have state police now, you know what is right. Okay, Victor, I want to ask you something, and Otumba. If anybody does what is right, and there is state police and federal police, will anybody go and suppress or oppress anybody? We are doing all those things because we don't want the rule of law to prevail. State police will, you sanitize this country and teach us the rule of law. God bless you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you for that. Let's see who we have here still. Okay, we're gonna bring this call up to. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, are you there? Okay, do call back. The call back 091. Let me see if this other call will come on board. Okay, this is much better. Hello.
They must come on board now. They have a try. People do. Pick up my action. They pay me. I don't try.
Prince Wise.
Good afternoon to you all.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you, my dear. Otumba, are you not there?
I'm here, sir.
Good badu now.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
You see, what the said, for me, I appreciate him. It is giving us hope that all those that still be holding by the terrorists will be released. If they can't be rescued, they'll be released. As when you rightly said, when you release somebody, it will rescue them. But the rescue, how many things you have been taking care of? All this why. So for me, I know Nigeria must move forward. When you talk about state police today, yes, we need the state police. But how many states that we need this police we are talking about? I mean, Teko alone that's working here. I press our governor. But can they go around to 36 states? How many governors can space that? Because when you have security that is want you to secure everybody, secure your state, secure your country, you must pay a very fast salary. Good allowances, with a comprehensive cover for their family if anything happen to them. So all this thing, you must think of this before you can say the state police. How many governors can be? It can be optional, like Lagos, like River, like even in the southwest here. Some of them that are ready to cater for Amateku, to ready to pay for state police. Because Amateku today, if you pop a money to them, they secure our hamlet, they secure the villages, they secure the town. So for me, Amateku with the statement of IG, because it's very good. You see, those who are in the detention of so few people. Yeah, in fact, I'm not happy with what's going on, but what are we going to do? Thank you. That you are not passing democracy.
Thank you.
You are passing democracy. You may not be from America or London or France.
Thank you.
You are passing democracy.
Thank you very much. Thank you, PS, Prince YX. Thank you very much. All right, so okay, all right. Let's see. That's this one is also calling. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes,
Oᴘᴇᴜ Kayode.
Oᴘᴇɪ, okay. Kayode.
Yeah, quickly on this.
Yes.
State police and all of this.
Very quick.
To be or not to be. We agree on the arguments of decentralization of police. That being it centralized is a big problem, and it's not giving us the needed protection we need as a people. So there's need for decentralization. However, if you now look at the peculiarities and challenges we face as Nigerians, that is a bigger problem today. And I will say this. Is it the same states that cannot pay 70,000? Is it the same states that are owing, that are still paying over 15 to 16 states that are still paying 30,000 as minimum wage? Are the same people who want to put police in their hands with guns? That is a big red flag.
All right, thank you.
We need to ask those questions and be able to know what we'll do in that situation.
Thank you very much, Oᴘᴇɪ Kayode, for calling. All right, Otumba, quickly, let's look at this other story here. Because of time, we'll just, have to talk about it briefly. That Niger State now seeks military intervention as bandits overrun community. The story here says that the federal government had withdrawn troops from the area 5 months ago, a decision that has left the community vulnerable to insensate attacks by bandits. Now, the acting governor of Niger State, Yakubu Garba, has called on the federal government to urgently redeploy military forces to the Alawa community in the Shiroro local government area of the state. Shiroro local government, every now and then, is a mining site. A whole lot has been happening around that place.
Thank you. Thank you in the sense that when people are talking, I appreciate people's comment. We must go deeper into our discussion. You've just mentioned the question. You've not raised the alarm now. We have overstretched army. They are even doing what they are not supposed to do. We have allowed much of civilian military rule now. We are not even conscious of our integrity, of our external aggression. If people are still talking about, you see, when you people look at issue from the surface level, I appreciate the fact that there might be some manipulation. There's no manipulation. Few privileged Nigerians are having police to themselves. Few privileged Nigerians I know of. So when they are going on occasion, they have a truck to manage somebody. Under this dispensation, though, how many police do we have? We have 450 police. Yes. And out of this 450,000 we're talking about, how many of them are deployed to monitor who is who? Some who is good when they go on the occasion, about 6 police go with them. Is that what we want to continue? Now we're facing with the ravages of insecurity. If it means that if army left a place, that's all, they'll go. You know how many people they've killed? What we're saying is this. It is true, if we say we want to do community police, all the state might not be matured enough to take it. But it's actually the problem. Because of the fact that we've centralized security, that's why the security architecture will continue to pump money and we continue to pay for security votes. Are we getting commensurate results? All the states cannot come on board. Now, everywhere they're shouting about army should come back, army should come back. What if you have an external aggression?
From all indication, what is going on in Niger State, which is not peculiar to just Niger State alone now, so many parts of the country, it appears with all of the money that has been pumped into the security architecture, it is not showing. There is no proof, no evidence to show that people are enjoying. Hence, the reason Garba, or rather the Niger State governor, yes, Yakubu Garba, is calling for the federal government to redeploy the military.
To me, that's what we're saying. So other people know when they have problem, they'll call for their government to say, how many army do you have? Tell me. The entire army facet, how many army do you have? The entire armed forces is no more than 350,000, not even 400,000. And some of them, how many of them are really facing the war? What we're saying is this: look, let's be deeper in our discussion. The bone of contention, those people who put a template towards it. Why must we be holding security architecture in the north? In the village, in the real village, you still get control from the north? Are we saying before now, aren't we controlling ourselves? What we will see until we regionalize. If we don't regionalize this security, we continue to have problems.
All right.
We're still complaining. Look, the fire we appropriated 12 trillion happened last year. As we vote more for security, insurgency goes up. And these are all imaginary. All the firepower we acquire, where have we used them? Because people know now that they are looking at the center. That's why they can continue to do the Boko Haram. But when they know that we regionalize, when they know that the state, will people in this wake up on that and allow the governor to spend the security vote anyhow?
All right, Otumba, thank you very much. We are out of time here, but I want to say thank you so much to you for always having time to come, have this conversation. It's all about nation building. Let's wait and see what is going to be the outcome of the governors sitting together to ensure that to be or not to be state policing in Nigeria. So until next week, Otumba, I like the way you're looking. Keep looking fly and young. You're already a Gen Z as it is, okay? Yes. Go enjoy yourself and enjoy your weekend ahead. All right, people, that's the size of the program. Of course, you know how it is. I want to say thank you so much to every one of you who called in via text, via WhatsApp, and even on Facebook as well, watching and dropping your comments there. Thank you so much. Don't forget, Open Forum is going to be back next week, Thursday, and hopefully it's going to be in a new month. And yeah, that's my month as well, and a lot of persons too. So we're going to be having a wonderful time again, but don't worry, more to be talked, more to be discussed, more to have right here on mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Don't forget at 4 p.m. the solution room, I almost called it solution center, situation room. Situation room is going to be back, and of course Oᴘᴇᴜ Fᴏʟᴜᴜ is going to be here with you. Before then, I'm going to be having 1 full hour with Jaydan. Don't go nowhere, people. My name is Victor Achibon. Thank you very much and enjoy your day.